Hello all and welcome to, I don't know what the fuck to call this, Star Trek Picard or just Picard or what the fuck. But anyway, we're here. Hi Loki, how are you doing?
After the shit show we just watched, I'm here, but I'm seriously wondering why I'm here.
Yeah. I pity.
There's not enough whiskey in the
No,
world.
I pity your liver. I'm sure it's getting abused.
I think I'm getting the shitty end of the deal here.
Yeah, I know. I mean, this show doesn't even have great one-liners like this.
It's pretty good for shit.
You know, we had that in the season I had to watch. All right, so do we want to really break? Can we even break this down? Because even the show's timeline from start to finish makes no fucking sense. So can we break this down logically, or do we just hit the high notes if there are such things?
I don't think there is a high note.
Oh God! Although I will say, you know, Guinan got an upgrade.
You can't even say that because Guinan didn't even know that.
Well, yeah, we'll get into that, but I mean, just they hit the slimmer button a little bit, and oh shit, I shouldn't say that; I'll get canceled. But you know, they did the thanks for coming, Whoopi, but we're moving in a different direction now. Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of that direction, how does she not know who he is? She met him like 300 years before that. So
see, what I've been trying to wrap my head around is because I watched it and it didn't dawn on me at first. At first, it didn't dawn on me. Maybe it's because I was just half asleep. And then my love read out the post that Mark had done in the Discord, and I went, "Fuck, that's right." And then I went, "Wait a second. Okay, so here's my problem. If they're racing to stop the divergence in time, then that means where they are right now is the timeline that ends with TNG. Okay? Which means nothing pre this event on the 15th has changed. Everything is the same. It is the same 21st century they had that they're in, but the divergence is yet to come. If the divergence is yet to come, then Guinan should know who the fuck Picard is.
No, because this is written by a 21st century Karen that probably weighs as much as Guinan does in the first episode of this. So she has no fucking clue that Guinan met Picard in the 19th century. She has no fucking idea that that's already happened. All of this is more flashcard Star Trek. And this fucking land whale, this purple-haired fucking land whale that wrote this is sitting there seeing a scene from Star Trek 4 and going, "Oh my God, we could totally use that." And has no idea about TNG Star Trek because they never fucking watched it. They're not fucking fans. They have no idea what happened. This is more flashcard Star Trek. Learn the
And,
flashcards, don't learn the show.
Bringing up a comment from the chat, Pat S says, to be fair, do you remember every person you met 300 years ago? Here's the problem with that.
It
If you
wasn't
go to
just him.
Guinan in TNG, she remembers a lot further back than that.
Oh yeah, and Guinan fell in love with Picard in that mine that they were in. He stayed there with her. He almost and she said, "I will never forget you."
Yeah.
And she didn't. She didn't, because she waited all that time to see him again and never forgot about him.
Yeah.
She said, if you do not go on this, we will never meet. The reason why Guinan was the bartender in 10 Forward and there for Picard was because Picard went back in time and she never forgot him.
Yeah.
These people do not know shit about Star Trek.
It baffles my brain, because this is your own story here, folks. It's only 3 episodes in, and you've already jumped the shark. Like, and don't get me wrong, I am not just hammering on Picard, because you can ask Loki. Last season, I was probably one of the only people standing there going, "It was good. Shut up." That was me. That was me. I defended Picard against Loki and anybody else who brought it up for the last year and a half. But this, I'm so disappointed. I'm not even angry. I'm disappointed, because they had so many great ways they could have taken this, even with the politics in, and I could have forgave that, but there were some storylines that really had some meat on the bone that they could have added. And leaving first season, I was like, yes, we're going to get space. We're going to get Federation. We're going to get... Fuck no! So I'm a little choked at that.
Shit. What we've got is shit.
Like, I don't even understand. Okay, so they send Seven and Raffi to go, and Rios to go find this Watcher, right? Okay, neat, nifty. As we said last episode, Rios knocks himself unconscious and goes to a clinic. Clinic gets raided. He gets arrested. Then they do and then in this episode, oh boy, do we get a wonderful look at the U.S. immigration system, don't we?
Which isn't even the U.S. immigration system. That does not exist in California.
Right? Like, well, okay, let me put it this way. How certain people view the immigration system. Is that a better way of putting it? Dancing around the tulips kind of way of putting it, without outright saying it, so that, I don't get canceled in the first 8 minutes of this live stream. But, like, seriously. Okay, so we get this scene where they're in fucking tennis court cage places, and of course they're being bullied and tased and all this other shit. And he's being sent away to deport. They're going to deport him. They're going to deport Rios because he can't prove that he's an American citizen. Okay, fine. Whatever. And so this leads to Seven and Raffi stealing a cop car, SUV. 7 of 9 getting in behind the wheel of a car for the, I think, first time. Or did she drive in Voyager?
Nope.
Okay, so for the first time, she gets in behind the wheel of a car. Not only does she know how to turn the fucking thing on, but she knows where the gear shifter is. There's no question. She just grabs it, drops it into reverse, slams on the accelerator, does the whole reverse thing. There's no, how the fuck does this thing work? None of that. It's just get in and drive because... reasons. And I get it, I'm nitpicking, but fuck me. There should have been something of, how the fuck did you work this thing? She's never driven a car. Yes, she can fly a starship, as they say in the show. You can fly a starship and you can't handle it. I don't care. If you're used to driving automatics your entire life, get into a standard and make it go down the road. Right? Without blowing the clutch.
Right.
I'm sorry, but if you drive an automatic car all your life, get into a standard. Good luck.
Thomas Potts brings up an interesting point, but they didn't write this expecting him to be in the position he's in. They expected the other guy, the Orange Man Bad, to be president of the United States at this point.
Yeah. Well, of course.
It's just like Mark said. It's an insulting episode.
So okay, wait.
All of this has been insulting.
So Pat S says that Tom taught her how to drive stick on the holodeck on Voyager. Okay, so that can explain how she knows how to drive.
But we never saw that. Ever.
Okay.
That was never like.
See, Voyager is a weak point for me because I really did not like that show.
Well, Tom did do like rebuilds on cars. That was his like little thing. That was his getaway on the holodeck after the Italian bar and all that shit. Eventually, he started working on a car.
Okay, well, I saw bits and pieces of it, yeah.
But you never see him teaching anybody how to drive it or anything like that. So it's they can assume whatever the hell they want to. Seven's not just going to jump in a police cruiser and know how to drive it like that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah. So now they get the high-speed chase because, of course, they get a high-speed chase.
Which none of us even know what the point of it is. They're just joyriding. They're just,
right.
It's Thelma and Louise.
Yeah. Well, no, because no, Loki, it's even better than that. They have to get in the most iconic, patronized scene in every movie that deals with a husband and wife. The going on a road trip, the wife with the map, the husband driving, and the wife and the husband arguing. It was the whole point of that scene. Sorry, but it was. Because that's what it was. Think about it. That's exactly what it was. It was the husband and wife arguing because the wife doesn't know how to read the map and the husband is trying to drive and the wife is telling him how to drive and telling him where to turn and he's getting frustrated, and that describes that entire scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it was. And it's just crazy to me. Because why? Okay, I get it. You're pandering, one whoop-de-ding, but it didn't progress. I mean, yes, they're going after Rios. So we see Rios, we see the doctor get released. Next thing we know, he's boarding a bus. So we don't even get to see them, like, do anything with Rios. Except tase him. Next thing we see, he's getting on a bus.
Yep.
Rios, of course, tells this police officer, I'm from the 24th century, I'm a captain, blah, 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 blah. And of course, he gets laughed at. And then as the officer's walking off the bus, he goes, what was it? He made a snide comment, something along the lines. He said something, and then he's like, basically, goodbye, Captain, mocking him. And then he gets off the bus, and the bus takes off. And well, then we get back to the high-speed chase, and well, now they've gotten the transporter back online because of course, the Borg Queen. And it's mental jousting between the Doctor and the Borg Queen, which I find absolutely ridiculous, but whatever. Like bad 2 o'clock drama, software, soap opera bullshit. Anyway, so they get the transporters working. The Doctor tells Seven to slam on the brakes. She slams on the brakes. The cops surround the car. They beam them out. Okay. Then they beam them to a point ahead of where the bus is going to be, because the transporter can't handle moving targets right now. It's Oh, and did you see they fixed my complaint, Loki? They fixed my complaint. I completely forgot about this. They fixed my complaint. Last episode, my complaint was, hello, we would have seen the ship. What the fuck? So what did they do this episode? They fixed it. Radio edit. They fix it with dialogue. Oh, aren't you worried somebody's going to find us? Picard. Well, these ships seem to be equipped with upgrades. Computer.
Cloaking
Turn on
device.
cloak. Right? Like, initiate cloaking device. Fuck off!
Mm-hmm.
So they
self-repair too. You don't have to fix anything now.
Yeah.
You don't have to know how to fix anything. The ship just fixes itself.
Yeah, they fixed it. Yay! They should have done that last episode, because how many days have they been at this fucking crash site already? Right? So, wouldn't the cloak be something you do right away? Not after you've sent an away mission? Etc., etc.? Wouldn't that be something you do right away? Just a thought. Because you've already been... If they have the ability to find you, they've already found you. Turning on the cloaking device doesn't help you now. They already have your location. Now they just go, fuck, that thing disappeared. Let's go investigate anyway.
They're not going to do that. Again, the writers on this are not that intelligent. So there is no argument you can make that will outwit half-wits. Because they're never going to admit they did anything wrong. And they're never going to admit that their writing isn't pure fucking total genius. The scene on the bus.
Yeah.
No, I say screw you. Of course. And Seven does it without any physical violence. She just tells him to stop, and he's like,
"Oh yeah,
sorry.
that was absolute bullshit. I'm sorry."
I just like that song. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. If you told now, Loki, we grew up in we were around in the 90s, right? When those, late 80s, early 90s, when it was popular to have a fucking jukebox with you. Or not popular, but it was within the range of possibility. And then headphones came and Walkmans and all that fun shit. And you still had people blasting the fucking things. If somebody told somebody that went through all the trouble to carry around this boombox with them to turn it off, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the usual immediate reaction is, oh, is this too loud for you? And they turn it up. Wouldn't that be their normal reaction? Or they get up and punch you in the face. One of the two. But definitely not, oh, I'm sorry. Won't happen again. No. A person with that look, wearing the clothes that he's wearing, rocking the boombox he's rocking, is not turning his stereo off because a woman asked him to. Sorry. I don't know what fucking 90s they remember, but no. That would not have flown. Hell, a grown man tell him to turn it down, and he's going to give him the middle finger. Why? Because they were the rebels. Correct me if I'm wrong, Loki.
Yeah. No.
Right? He would have got a punch in the fucking face. And 9 times out of 10, he's got a crew with him. Yeah. People who dressed like that traveled in packs.
I heard this rumor. I had this really funny rumor that it was going to be Cisco. That Cisco was going to be the Watcher And I'm just like, yeah, no, it's not going to happen. Number one, he doesn't get along well with the CBS execs over there, and I never in a million years don't think they would pay him what he's worth. So I knew it wasn't going to be Cisco. I knew they'd never do that.
Well,
It's just amazing that
for me,
10 forward, 10 forward.
Yeah.
Remember, 10 forward.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't see now Avery or Cisco. I don't
Avery
think
Brooks,
he gets
yeah.
along with
No, he doesn't.
Pat Stewart. And this show is clearly Stewart's friends.
It's not just Stewart.
And friends.
It's not just
This
Stewart.
is clearly Stewart and friends.
He
to
doesn't
get on
get
the show,
along-
you've got to get the approval and the nod from Stewart.
It's not just Stewart. He doesn't get along with the CBS executives. He doesn't get along with the Star Trek alumni. That there's very few people that he gets along with over at Star Trek. So yeah, it's just I never could see them like getting him and paying him. I mean, maybe if they'd pull, an insane number, he might consider it, but I really don't see it happening. And Stewart doesn't get along with him. So
yeah. And to me, this seems like Stewart and friends. Guinan, Q, Riker.
Q's been neutered.
Oh, fuck. The last scene of the episode.
Q's been neutered. Of course.
That's unfortunate.
You can't get it up, ladies and gentlemen.
It's like, not. Didn't they do this fucking storyline before, too? Where Q lost his powers?
Yeah.
This has been done. Q has lost his powers before. He beams onto the Enterprise and he's human. He's disgusted that he's human. And then he finally gets his powers back. And he's never ever so thankful to have his powers back. But it's not it's not the first time Q has lost his powers. I don't. Why are you neutering the villain? Right? It'd be like, okay, we're having Venom in the movie, but we're taking away the suit. So it's just Venom as a normal human. No suit. We're having Spider-Man, no suit. Batman, no suit. No gadgets. Just Wayne. But we're still calling it Batman. The fuck.
Well, that's what we've got. This is what we've got.
It's just, and Thomas Potts says, did you notice the name on the building in the back? Jackson Roy Kirk Plaza. No, I didn't, to be completely honest. I will be honest on that. No. I did not notice that one. Did you?
Nope.
Okay.
No, that's a good call, Thomas.
Yeah, good shout.
Roy Kirk.
Yep. But no, I did not notice that one, but good catch, Thomas. Good catch. But I mean, like, I went from defending Picard to going, what the fuck happened to my show?
Welcome to the dark side,
It's
Rattling
like-
Canuck.
Well, and that's why in my tweet for this live stream, I went full Vader. We would be honored if you join us. Because it's just, what the fuck? Like, I literally went
Okay.
from defending it to going, what the fuck happened to my show?
Here's the deal, and I know you didn't want to see this. I know you didn't want to see this. I know that you argue. Hell, we fought about it. I know
Yes.
you argued it. This is the thing. The thing with the androids is all about slavery, and it's all about humans being horrible people. Picard being a horrible person. All of that goes back to slavery. This season is going to be all about immigration. This is what they talked about when they said we're going to use Star Trek as a political platform. That's what Star Trek is now. I know you didn't want to believe that with Picard season 1, but that is what it was, and that's what a lot of us were seeing. And
Yeah.
this only reinforces what we were seeing because they're doing the exact same thing except they're doing it with immigration. And
Yeah.
that's what the INS. I want to tell you something. If you live in California, you know that ICE is not welcome in California. There are no immigration raids in California. There is none of this going on in California, in LA. Absolutely, positively not. There'd be riots and people would freak out and all kinds of weird shit. It's just not happening. They're
Yeah.
trying to say that in 2024, 2 years from now, this will happen. They're only saying that because they expected Orange Man Bad to still be in the White House. And they did it anyway. They knew where they were going with this.
Yeah, it's just I wish that they done something different because at the end of season 1 they had so many interesting strings that they could have gone, and it could have validated my belief in the first season. Well, in the first episode they fact that all to hell because all of the interesting stuff that I wanted to see was tied up in a bow in 30 seconds. Because it's all happened off screen.
Yeah.
Fuck. And then now, I mean, again, we're not in Starfleet. Again, we're not in space. Again, I mean, yeah, they were in space in the first season, but more often than not, they weren't. And you were right. We called it. They landed in the chateau. We're right by the Chateau Picard. Because that's where they end up in this episode, is Chateau Picard. And Picard has his memories. There's a song for that. But it just, the first season seemed like they had too many storylines going on at one time. And in this one, it seems like they're a show in search of a storyline. Do you get that feel?
Yep.
I mean, the first season, they had so much going on, you needed to watch the episode twice to decipher what the fuck happened. Which was kind of cool, because it was like, oh, I didn't catch that first go round. Oh, I didn't catch that first go round. Now, it's like, it's almost like they went, oh, well, I guess we hit them with too much storyline last time. Let's bring that back. And then they scaled it back so far that it's a show in search of a storyline. Because the storylines they have presented so far seem to be all side plots. They haven't got to the main one yet. They touched on it and then veered off, and now they're all in side plots. Does that make any sense, Loki?
Yeah.
Yeah. They started in the main storyline, then they veered off, and now they're all in side plots, and they haven't found the main storyline again. And the side plots are not great. I mean, watch any comedy from the 80s. You can get a ton of wife with a map and husband driving the car. And that's what the Raffi and 7 of 9 scene was. But again, how does 7 know how to drive the car, start the car? And okay, she got taught how to drive a standard. Well, I got news for you. Starting an automatic and starting a standard are two different things. If she learned how to drive a standard, we should have seen a scene with her foot hitting for the clutch that wasn't there. She learned on a standard, she's looking for a clutch. Because you
Which
need the
she
clutch to
doesn't.
start the car.
Which she doesn't do.
No. So even if you go by the method that, okay, she learned how to drive a standard on Voyager, okay, then when she looks down, why are there only 2 pedals? Where's the clutch? Because you need the clutch to start the car.
Yeah.
If you learn on a standard. Now, I fully admit I can't drive a standard worth of shit because the standards I grew up on, the only standard I've ever driven successfully was my grandmother's 57 Chevy. And that son of a bitch, you had the gear shift and you had to do this with it to find the fucking gear. I have a bad habit of doing that with new standards, and new standards don't like that. But it just, I don't. A lot of this just seems like needless nonsense. Doesn't need to be in here. What the fuck? Get back to the main story, please.
Yep.
Because the Doctor and the Queen storyline, okay, does she end up assimilated at the end? Does she end up,
no idea.
well, I've been alone all my life and the Borg will give me the acceptance that I've always craved and needed? Is that where this is fucking going?
You fucking got me, dude.
Right? Because there is no other, or she overcomes it and she comes out brave and strong, and I don't need anyone. I can be just as good all on my own, and I don't need to be ashamed of that. Those are the 2 storylines that goes. She tells the Queen to stick it, and she's confident in her ability, and she can finally stand on her own 2 feet, and she doesn't need anyone, and she's a strong, independent woman, and she can do whatever she can. Right? Or the Borg will give me the belonging that I've longed for all my life. Those are the 2 storylines that ends up. Correct me if I'm wrong. Logically, those are the 2 endings you get to. Like, okay, did we need this side plot?
No, a lot of this we don't need.
No. And Rios getting, so what are they going to do to get Rios out of this bus? What do you think? Phaser the tires?
Well, they've already phasered a car when they didn't need to.
Yeah.
They even say that. Well, you didn't need to do that. You could just follow the lock. Yeah, but this is funner.
Yeah, this is funner. Yeah. Because
what about ripples in the timeline? What if those guys were supposed to go? The guys that intercepted her. What if they were supposed to go stop a robbery that never happened, and because of that, these people don't fucking think about any of this shit.
No, because you're fucking. That's why time travel is such a bad story device, unless it's short, brief, in and out, right? The longer you're in a time, back in time, the more shit you have to write to balance it. You either have to go super, we got to protect the timeline, don't step on an ant, or you go, we don't give a shit. We don't care about the story. We don't care about the timeline. All I care about is getting my objective, which can be a fun story to tell, although it means you also have to take into account that they're fucking up everything. And then there's consequences at the end of that tunnel. Usually. Hopefully. Maybe. Could happen. Probably not. But to me, I just... And then just basic Star Trek. Guinan should know Picard. And then some people, I could see some people defending it by going, well, she does once he says his name, because she says shit and then she takes him. So then she remembers him. That's when she remembers him, is when he says his name. Well, she's physically seen Picard. in his current form.
Yep.
He wasn't a young man. He didn't have long blonde brown hair. His facial features weren't that much different. This is the same Picard she met, physical wise. Maybe a little older. But not much has changed since the last time she has seen Picard. So I don't buy the aha moment where she realizes who he is when he says his name. I don't get it. Mm-mm. And what I'm really, really expecting now is, do you know what the Watcher's role is? They hinted at it in this episode. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but they hinted at it. To ensure certain people's timelines stay accurate. So, in other words, Picard is en route to meet his guardian angel. Ain't that a fucking trip? He's en route because he's special, vital to the timeline. He has a guardian angel. Ain't that a bitch? But I don't think there's much more we can say about this there, Loki.
No. I can't often say that I'm a loss for words on how bad something is, but I legitimately am at a loss for words on how bad this is. I can't believe this ever passed muster at Paramount. I can't believe Patrick Stewart is aligned with this and he's all to go, oh, we're making good television, 7. No, this is the most dribbling dribble I have ever watched. This is bad. I would go back and watch I would go back and watch some of the worst B movies before watching this shit. And it is shit. I can't believe this is what Star Trek is. In 2022, this is what Star Trek. If you'd have told me 20 years ago, guess what? In 2022, you're gonna have the worst fucking Star Trek you could ever imagine. I was like, that's not possible. There's no way. There's no way. And if I was telling myself about my experience watching Picard, my 20-year younger self would laugh in my face and be like, "That's not fucking possible. It's just not."
Yeah.
But here we are.
No. All right, folks. Loki, do you have anything coming up? I know you haven't been feeling well, so I don't want to keep you too long. You have anything coming up major that you'd like to promote?
I've got, let's see, we've got tomorrow morning the weekend review. Eventually I want to do like a series review after this is all said and done. We'll do, and I would love to like get with you and Dave Bob. I know Dave Bob was watching for a little bit. Maybe bring someone else in, a 4-person panel or something.
Yeah.
And talk about this season in detail. I applaud you for doing a weekly show because I just couldn't. I couldn't do it twice. There's no way I could fucking do it twice. I wouldn't even do it on my own channel once. I am here out of respect for my friend and the fact that he said if he'd watch Discovery, I would watch this fucking giant.
Yeah, it was a deal made by two devils, and we're both regretting it.
And Mark brings up a good question. Why is Q still old?
Yeah,
because they don't fucking have the money to de-age him. They only had the money to do that once, and that's it. We've got the weekend review coming up tomorrow. We've got our Friday night late show, Mexican Iron Man, and I know I'm going to be doing like a member stream. I just don't know whether it's going to be Saturday or Sunday yet. So, but I will be doing a member stream this weekend, and we've got a movie coming up. Monday, so we're gonna have a popcorn movie, and then another member stream. So
awesome. So quickly before I get out of here, I got a couple things to promote. First of all, I do want to make Loki mad at me by going, everyone, if you're not subscribed to Loki, do it. I will tell you this right now. Loki was sicker than a fucking dog on Tuesday. And I don't even think you made your morning show Tuesday, did you?
No, I did not.
No. So he doesn't even make his own show. And I had reached out to him because I had a up and coming YouTuber on that had made videos on myself and Adaga and Loki and other members of Zax and other members of the crew. He had made very nice videos on, and it was going to be one of his first live streams. I think he'd been on one other live stream before that. And I thought, well, how can I shock and make his first live stream memorable? And I thought, I know, I'll get Loki on just for a couple of minutes just to say hi. And anyone else I know that was as sick as Loki would have been just like, I'm sorry, dude, I got a dip. I know I told you I'd try, but I just can't. I got a dip. Loki showed up. He didn't even make his own show that day, but he made that one. That's the kind of guy Loki is. And that's why I have that flag behind me. And that's why I will stand with Loki no matter what we disagree on. Because the man truly means when he says he's got your back, he does. So I know I've just made Loki go, shut up, Canuck. But but seriously, folks, Loki's the real deal. And later on this evening, I'm not sure. I think Mrs. Canuck is going to kill me. I believe we're going live on Mrs. Canuck's channel for the first time. I think it's on Mrs. Canuck. I'm pretty sure it's on Mrs. Canuck. Or no, not this evening, but yeah, we were going to, and then we skipped that. Okay, never mind. But soon we're going to have the Canuckles come on Mrs. Canuck's channel. We just are trying to figure out what the hell. Also, big announcement, Loki, you'll love this. Big announcement, and I don't even think Mary knows that I'm gonna do this, but anyway. On Mary's channel, Mrs. Canuck, or on this one, whichever one she decides to put it on. This Saturday, we will have karaoke as normal. Next Saturday, karaoke will be canceled.
Oh, that sucks. Because
Canuck and Mrs. Canuck are going to be watching WrestleMania. And then I am dragging great. Mrs. Canuck up on stream, and we're going to review WrestleMania.
Mrs. Canuck, I am so sorry. I feel so bad for you. I want absolutely nothing to do with that.
Oh, come on. Austin's coming back.
Well, yeah, Austin's coming back. But Austin's going to be like bringing a wheelchair down to the ring. Or a walker. He's going to be taking a walker.
And grab a beer and go home. That's what Austin's going to do.
I need a beer. Somebody out there in the crowd throw me a beer.
He's not that old. He still does shit with it, on his shows, and he's still pretty athletic.
Can I get a hell yeah?
Hey, if Sting on the other channel can jump off the rafters and land through 3 tables, Austin can come out and do a stunner. Okay, I'm just saying, if they can let Sting last night on AEW, Sting, 63-year-old man, did a stinger splash on a person on the guardrail.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad y'all are watching that. I'm not. I can't watch that shit anymore. I can go back and watch all the old stuff, but if anybody out there knows how to get a hold of an NWO like highlight reel from WCW, I'd love to watch that. But wait, what? I am reviewing it. Someone asked about the movie we're watching. I was thinking about Predator, the original Predator, but I'm not like 100% sure
I hadn't got there yet, dear. Yes, and damn it, tomorrow is Mary's birthday, so everybody blow up her Twitter. And give her happy birthdays, and she will be having ladies' night on her channel. I will not be there because 1, I'm not a lady, and 2, I will be in dialysis.
Wait a minute.
But I will be in chat, so I will be
Mark
there
was on ladies' night. He's not a.
Well, lady. No, it's his alter. It's her alter ego.
Okay.
Yeah, she shows up on karaoke once in a while and sings Barbie Girl and Man, I Feel Like a Woman, and it's crazy. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right.
But yes, Mary has her birthday stream tomorrow, and it'll be really fun and chaotic as usual. I'll be in dialysis, so I'll be in chat. And we have a lot of work to do, and Mary is very excited to do the Knuckles show, inspired by Zach's. He always called us the Knuckles, so now we're going to have a Knuckles show. There's a Knuckles channel out there that I want to burn to the ground, but whatever. How dare they? They had it first, but how dare they? Hey, if they can do to Star Trek what they're doing, I can rewrite history and say they didn't. Right. Yeah. So there's lots to come on Mrs. Canuck. We're still working out the fine points on what we're going to do there. I'll have a presence over there. We'll also bring stuff on this channel. So lots of stuff in the planning. It's just, unfortunately, a lot of it is on me. I'll have a good week, and then I'll have 3 weeks where I've got to record. Why? Ow, no, shit. So it's just a lot of it is on me. And yes, Mark, I know Bree sings Barbie Girl, but you're in it too, so shush. But at any rate, I've been dragging this out. Karaoke Saturday. We'll be skipping next Saturday because WrestleMania. And I missed it last year, so I want to see this year. Just because I'm interested to see if they bring, because normally on WrestleMania night they'll bring out the Hall of Famers. So I want to see if they're going to do something special with the Undertaker. Because he is going into the Hall of Fame this year.
Yeah.
So although some of the choices they've put in there this year, I'm going, what? Although Vader made it finally, amazingly.
Yeah, WCW guy.
Yeah, WCW guy. Yeah, Queen Sharmell, which is Booker T's wife, she's in the Hall of Fame. Why, I have no idea, but she is. I guess
probably for having to deal with Booker walking around the house going Bob time, Bob time, Bob time. Oh,
yeah. Or putting up with Booker during that whole King Booker phase. Yeah. Good Lord. Anyway, with that, folks, I'm out of here. Tomorrow, quick note. History with R&R will welcome back Mr. CCDV. All things goes to plan.
Oh, yeah.
We'll carry on with his next deployment. It is a show that is very close to me and Mr. CCDV. As we all know, Mr. CCDV has MS, so we don't know how much longer we have him. So we're going to make sure that we get his story out before that day comes. So it is a very important. I don't care about the views. I really don't. But if you would be so kind as to share it out, and because it is a story I think that needs to be told. And I think I was talking to to Tino one time about it, and he said he wishes that more veterans would do that, because no matter how insignificant you think your role was, it was still big. It was still a choice you made, and it was still things you had to do. And I think in history we get the big picture, but we don't get the small picture. We don't get the what it was like, what the conditions were like for the average soldier. We get what the generals did, right? So I think it's very important that those stories get told. And with that, thank you all, and take her easy, folks.